Well, hello, everyone. How is everyone doing today? This is it. This is my first live stream on YouTube. Can you believe it? I don't believe it. Lou Augustine, good to see you first in the house. First to comment anyways. I see some lurkers in there. So, I need to figure out... There we go. So as you may or may not know, I have moved from Twitch, and I'm trying to come here to YouTube now. Corrales, hello, how are you? Alex, good to see you, my friend. So I'm trying to move everything from Twitch here to YouTube, and YouTube is honestly a little more challenging. It's a little more challenging, right? And so I need to go through some setup stuff. First of all, it doesn't look like the avatars are working. Pratish, how are you, my friend? So normally on Twitch, all these little avatars running around are populated by people who chat and follow me. But I only see myself in there. And that is concerning. So I'm not sure. Let me play with this real quick. Where's my stream avatars app? So I'm gonna disconnect. How about subscribers? Does that work? Okay, now how do I play this? Okay, let's try this. I wonder if that will work. I saved to subscribers, but I still only see myself in there. So if you're subscribed to me, if you're not subscribed to me and you're in chat, please subscribe real quick, because I want to see if this little avatar guy will actually work or not. If not, I'll just get rid of it, and maybe it won't work on YouTube. Maybe that's a Twitch only thing. That would suck, because these are kind of fun. Yeah, I'm not seeing anyone else pop up. That really blows. I was really hoping I could get that to work. However, I want to test some of my other alerts, if you don't mind, because this is a new setup for me, right? New setup. I have to test it. First off, does this work? All right. Okay, that works. Something works. What about... Lou says he's a subscriber. Okay. I'm a subscriber myself. Okay, yeah, and you're not showing up. See, you should show up if you're a subscriber. You should show up there. I mean, I could try another setting real quick. Let me try another setting. So let me disconnect. So my little avatar person should disappear. In chat. Okay, I'm going to say active chatters. Let's reconnect. So subscribe. Active chatter. So if someone's an active chatter, it should work. If this, I mean, this might not work. It works for Twitch. Now, I've heard that, you know, Twitch, I've been streaming on Twitch for a while now, and Twitch is a little better when it comes to, like, notifications and integrations and interactivity, which it seems like that may be the case. But no big deal. If I can't get my little avatar guys to work, it's no sweat off my back, really. Yep, Alex says he's active. And I'm not seeing any, I'm not seeing his avatar pop up. It's only me. Michael Harrison, good to see you, comrade. Okay, let me try my chat commands at least. So I should be able to do something like bomb. And I should be able to drop a bomb. My avatar should drop a bomb. And he didn't. He didn't do it. Yeah, I don't think this thing... This doesn't work. It doesn't work. It does, you know what I call that? It's broken. That's right. Miley's breaking my stuff. Miley! Stop breaking my stuff. No big deal. We'll call it good. I will just close that out. No avatars. That's fine. I don't need them anyways. They're a distraction. They're a distraction. Lloyd, good afternoon. Good to see you. Bomb cost 10. You have 0. What? I am the owner. Yes, comrade. I am not on Twitch right now. I am only going to focus on YouTube from now on. Now, the reason I do that is because, you know, a lot of people try to stream to both platforms. They'll have like a restream or something like that, and they'll try to stream to YouTube, and they'll try to stream to Twitch at the same time. The problem with that really is alerts, right? I can't get, well, I technically could, but it's a lot of work. To where, for one, someone chats on Twitch, I get a Twitch alert. Someone chats in YouTube, I get a YouTube alert. Someone subscribes, or like a little super chat thing or whatever that's called. You know, getting all those different alerts to work simultaneously is a ton of work. And I really don't want to do that. I don't feel like it, right? But I do have to learn this new system. I have to figure out how the chat works, like reading chat, because it's all different. The whole setup's different on this screen. So I see my chat here, so I can see everyone chatting. So I have my Chrome browser up. Actually, here, let me just show you what it looks like. Let me change screens here. Right, so this is what I see. So when I stream, this is what I see right here. I can change like my title, it's public, you know, 23 concurrent users, 6 likes. And then I can see the chat right here. So this is how I have to keep up with the chat. I mean, if you can see that. Stop! Stop! Come on! Can I pop this out? Ooh, I can pop that out. I don't know if I want to, though. But yeah, so that looks like it's pretty simple, actually. There's really not much to it. Comrade, cool, I can finally uninstall Twitch. Okay, well, I think I'm just gonna go with this. I think I'm gonna go with this, and let's I'm gonna try this and see how it goes. So I know that, so my button alerts work, my scene switching works, but my avatars do not. Maybe late at night I'll just sign in and do it when no one's watching. Anyways, there's 2 things that I have to accomplish today, and I only have time to do one on stream, and I'll let you choose. One is someone asked me about dependency injection, right? So I can talk today about dependency injection, right? Like fun stuff. Or we can design an API together. What do you want to do? Do you want to design an API for a real product? Basically fix an API. We got to fix one. Or would you rather talk about dependency injection? I'm here for you, people. I'm here for you. Oh, 1 vote. Stanley Bro. API. I got 1 vote for API. Who else? API. Okay, let's do it. API. Everyone's API. Real product. Okay. So let me open up the product. This product is called Reveal. I'm going to open up a sample. Right? I'm going to open up a sample. Laurent! Oh, my friend, my lovely friend, I love you so much, my friend. Thank you for coming in to say hi. I appreciate it. I miss you. I miss you so much, man. COVID's been a real pain in the butt. Right, so, oh man, I got more votes for DI. DI in what context? Alex, really, DI on context is essentially DI, the concept in general, and I would be using C# to demonstrate kind of how it works. But I see more API. I see more API. So let's go, since it's an existing product, I'm going to work with a sample that's already existing. I just have to find the samples. Reveal. Nope, that's not it. Where did I put this thing? Sample. Oh, right here. Samples. And we will do add Excel data source. I think this will work. All right, let's open up Visual Studio. Found it. I found it. Sarosh, happy to see you on YouTube compared to Twitch. Awesome. Yeah, I don't know if you all saw my video about deciding if I was going to come to YouTube or stay on Twitch. Because get this. everyone who does Twitch, all my friends, all the cool people, you know, I'm trying to be cool. They were saying people on YouTube don't chat. They're not interactive. And look at this chat. I'm calling BS on that right away. They're saying, oh no, people on YouTube, when you stream, they don't interact with you at all. You'll be talking to an empty chat room. Yeah, you proved them people wrong, didn't you? I'll call them out later. Okay, so let's talk about what we have to fix. So I'm gonna build this to make sure it still works. And so this product is called Reveal. Okay, let me bring up the website just in case you're curious. It's revealbi.io. It's a embedded data analytics SDK. So basically you embed this SDK inside your web app or inside your desktop app, right? Whatever. And it allows you to display data analytics using graphs, charts, grids, things like that. And it's supposed to be easy to use. And so my responsibility is to go through the API and make it better. And I've been doing that over time because, you know, when they first started this, they just kind of built it internally and didn't really think about the usage. And so that's what it is. And so here's the WPF app running right now. Okay. As you can see, it's just an application. This is the embedded dashboard that you see here, right? And I can change dashboards. Now, these files in this list box here, these are being read from a disk, right? So I have dashboard files in a folder, and these are representing those files on disk. And as I select one, I change out my dashboard, and you can do all kinds of cool stuff, right? I can add new dashboards and save them and all that good stuff, right? That's the idea. John Weiss, we respect the teacher speech. So not chat here. There you go. There you go. Okay. So what we want to do, let's take a look at what it takes to build this app as it is, and then we'll talk about what we need to improve. So the UI for this is actually pretty simple. We basically have a reveal view, right? We have a button that says add dashboard, and we have a list box that has a collection of all our files in it, right? And so here's all the dashboard files: campaigns, healthcare, manufacturing, right? This is what you saw in the list box, okay? Now the real magic happens in the code. Not too complicated. There's still some stuff I'm not super happy with, like this static thing here. Right, this must be set in order to find on Excel. I don't like this. I want to improve that. But essentially, all I do is I get all the files from the directory. I loop through them, and I create a dashboard item, which is a business object I created. And I set the name of the dashboard item and the path on disk. And then all that happens is when I select it, you see the selection changed. We go ahead and I'll get the added item, and then I will load the path. So it's just new RV dashboard path. That's it. Like, this is one line of code and we can load a dashboard file. Okay, perfect. Now this didn't used to be this way. This used to be a ton of code. Now, let's talk about what we need to improve on, what we need to add and fix in this real life product that people actually pay for and use. So part of this application, and let me go ahead and see if I can do this. Okay, and the view. We expose properties on this component that controls the UI. So for example, hopefully hot reload works here. I can say show menu equals false. And then this menu in the top right hand corner right here, watch this menu, top right hand corner, it should disappear if hot reload's working. Oh, there, boom, right? So we need to expose and design an API that allows us to control various aspects of this control to our end user here, to the developer, right? So this is you using this control. Now, for example, let's go ahead and hit edit. Once you hit edit, you get all kinds of different menus, okay? And this is where things get a little complicated because we want to be able to control various properties of dialogues and capabilities. For example, you know, I want to be able to control if I'm allowed to edit this date filter, right? Can I show it? Here, let me bring up Notepad. We're going to need this because we're going to have to make notes. Just something simple. Let me make that bigger. Like for the date filter. Show date filter. Right? Can edit. But what can edit? Would you say can edit date filter? Right? Where does this live? Does this live off the reveal? Whoop. Is this RevealView dot? Right? Or do we have something else? Do we have something like RevealView dot dashboard filters dot, and then you say show date filter, right? So these are the things we have to figure out because it's actually quite complex. I have to open up an email because I've documented a ton of these settings that need to happen. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there's a lot here. Okay. We have a lot of work to do. But this is what I do. This is my day job, right? Someone's got to do it. So you know what? Notepad probably isn't the best. Notepad probably really sucks for this. We might want to do something like OneNote. OneNote, and I'm going to open up a new thing here. And we can think around in here, right? This is temporary, but these are all the properties. There we go. These are all the properties that we have to kind of figure out, and it gets complicated. Now, what you see here, this was one idea that was proposed by someone on the development team. They were proposing having an edit settings object. So, you know, if you're on this reveal view here, you would say RevealView.edit settings dot whatever the property was. So if you kind of keep that in mind when you think about this, you know, they would say, oh, edit settings can edit, can add visualization, can add calculated fields, can't, like all these things. Now, all these properties, let me go back to the running app here. They control things like, I'm going to add a new visualization. Here's a dialog, right? We may have to control what you can do in this dialog, like show data items, show dashboard, data in dashboard, right? I'm just going to pick this here. Now we have another dialog here. We might want to have more options. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things we can do here. Then you go to select data. Now we're in another dialog where we actually start controlling or like designing things out. And this dialog is more complicated because, okay, marketing, we want to see our spend and over territory. That's our values. And I don't know, add a column for budget. And then we can make this, I don't know, a bar chart or something like that, right? So I can start designing this, but we have the ability to control various aspects of this view. Okay, I know it's pretty complicated, right? It's pretty complicated. It's a lot complicated. Comrade UI looks super cool. I appreciate that, my friend. I didn't design this. I am not a designer. I am a coder. I couldn't make something this pretty. Right? But this is the idea. And so when we go back and we're looking at an API to control these things, I'm not sure this really works. Right? Because edit settings. But there's multiple things to edit. What are you editing? Can edit, what does that mean? Right? Because as we saw, I'm going to cancel this, discard. I can edit this date filter, right? I can edit that. I can edit the campaign ID. Oh, and look, this dialog, right? I can edit, I can set up a data source. I can change data source. Like all that stuff, we have to be able to control. So what are we editing? I don't know. What are we allowed to do? What about these? Right? Oh, I can edit those too. What's this? Like, you see how complex, how difficult this really is? Is this all WPF or this inside area is from other tech? This is WPF. What you see here, this is all WPF, the whole thing. The reveal view you see here, that component that I'm editing, this is part of the SDK, the Reveal SDK for WPF. So this is a native WPF component. Okay. Now they have another version for web, right? That you can use in Angular, React, Vue, HTML, JavaScript, whatever. We even have a Java SDK if you're a Java person. And they're all native. Okay, they're not like, it's not like a web view wrapped up and then displayed in a desktop app or whatever. So our challenge is, how in the heck do we design this? Because as you can see, it is super complicated. Can I, boop, yeah, put that to the side. Super complicated. This is so awesome. I can never do this in WPF in a million years. You could. Maybe it wouldn't take you a million years, but anyone could do this. It just takes some time. It's all it really is. Like, be honest with yourself. You never had time to sit down to dedicate to build something like this, right? So, one dev. Hello, my friend. Good to see you. Okay. So I'm really, oh my gosh. Where should we start with this? Like, honestly. Well, the one thing I know for sure is that this edit button, the export, all these items are at the top level here. So I showed you the can edit or show menu, right? Show menu hid that, but I can say can edit. And if I open this, the can edit option is missing, right? So already we have some top level properties to control these here, like export, right? Image, PowerPoint. I forgot what we call them. Is it can export? Nope. Show export to, yeah. So this is called show export to PDF. So right now at the top level, at the root level of our UI control, we control this menu with individual properties. And that may make sense because this is like the top level component that you interact with. One dev says we are using Prism in our bachelor project, Blazor web app, and Xamarin Forms mobile app. Love your work. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the feedback. It's always awesome to hear when something I wrote is being used in somebody's project. It's very humbling. Blue UI looks really cool. I will pop a champagne the day I'll be able to master custom WPF controls. They're really not that bad. Building custom WPF controls really isn't that bad. It really isn't. It's really not. Okay, so where do we start? I think the approach that was proposed, I don't think this is going to work. Right? I don't think this is going to work because edit settings, can edit can apply to a lot of different things, right? Can add visualization. This only appears when you hit, oh, let me go back to the app. I have to set that back to true. That only appears when we edit the dashboard, right? So that makes sense to be. So we should have can add visualization. See, that's at the root. That's at the root right now. I think that makes sense at the root, right? Comrade, UI devs are real MVP. Changed my mind. Yeah, it's I wish I could make pretty UIs like that. Start with the deepest level. Oh my gosh. So the approach I was kind of thinking we can kind of start experimenting with, if we bring up the OneNote here, or the notepad, is maybe separating the properties by the dialogue or the view that it belongs to, right? So for example, I need to make this bigger. But for example, at this root level, we should have properties that control what we see at the root. For example, this button, these buttons here. I will even kind of consider this probably the root, right? So add visualization could be at the root. This menu, but what is this menu called? What? Ooh, hold on. What is this menu called? Maybe. And we have export again. Very interesting. Vincent, my friend, good to see you. Yes, I am now streaming on YouTube. So what I'm working on now is we are designing an API together on a product that's in the real world. This is a real product that is being sold and used by Fortune 500 companies today, and we're trying to make it better. And it's a complex task, and I need your help. It's really the best way to design an API is to get feedback. All right, so this could be considered edit settings. The problem is we have an edit, we have export here, right, at the root. So this is the root. We can control all this at the root level. Once I go into edit, should this now be considered edit settings? Because look, we still have export. That kind of confuses me. That really confuses me. Because I want to be able to control each of these items individually from this menu. Or do you think that this menu should act the same as this, but we have options on here that don't exist on the other menu? We have refresh, export, save as. That's the same. So one thought for this, I'm just looking at this menu, right? I'm trying to think conceptually. We have the RevealView root object. Now we can say edit settings, right? So this means any properties within this is when I'm in edit mode, right? That's one concept we can run with, okay? But we do have root level properties up here. We have root level properties like show menu. Whoops. That's a root level property. Oh my gosh, I can't type. Now, should we have the same show menu here, another property, a different property off of edit settings to control this individual menu? Or do we treat this menu as the same menu? Right? Comrade, editing makes sense. Yeah, edit settings makes sense. I'm kind of leaning that way actually. Because then we've identified we're in edit mode, right? One dev, Brian, do you think I can stream while I am working on my bachelor project on YouTube? We are doing it for a company, but I mean, there's not that much information. I don't see why not, unless your company has something against you actually streaming your work. You might want to check with them first, actually. You check to make sure you're allowed to show what you're working on. But yeah, I'm all about sharing work and sharing efforts. And, you know, a lot of times I learn more from the chat than I do anywhere else. A lot of smart people join these streams and always teaching me something. Okay, so should this menu be treated separately than this menu? Should we say, oh, I could control this menu differently than this menu, right? But with, I think, higher level, apes drawn together. Actually, I have my WeBull up, and I lost $127 today. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Look, I'm monitoring it right now. I'm monitoring it right now. I made a huge mistake. You see this ascending level of price here? I got in, I chased it. I shouldn't have done it. I chased it. And look what happened. Boom. I lost right there. Within a second, it dropped $4. And I bought about right here. Right? I bought right here. And I'm thinking, oh man, I am just riding this up, making all this money. And then in a blink of an eye, I lost it and lost 127 bucks. So I was... I'm very sad about that. Oh, anyways. Okay, back to this. Focus, Brian. You gotta focus. So we could do something like this. I do think, like can add visualization, right? I see Doge. Yes, I have a little bit of Doge. It's one of those where I just kind of bought some and I'm just gonna sit on it and see what happens. We'll see. I'm not expecting much, but it's 5 cents a coin. I mean, why not? Like 5 cents a coin. Like, what do I got to lose? Like nothing. So I'll just let it sit there for a year or two and see what happens. So this one, I'm not sure about the menu, but I can see like having edit settings, can add visualization, because I think that's what they called it here. Yeah, can add a visualization. I don't like. See, these edit settings, like add calculated fields, add post calculated fields, that is actually belongs to this. Another edit here. Like all up in here. Like this is... See, I think this is more like visualization setting. Right? That's what this is. This is a visualization settings. So I think that's different. So looking at the proposal, show data blending, change data source. Yeah, none of that has to do with actual edit settings. Server side, available charts. So none of this really can add visualization. And then these here, properties for this, right? Like a date filter menu. Like something like show date filter menu, show dashboard. Oh, can't spell. Filter menu. Because we have this menu as well, right? We have this menu, which we can edit, which brings up another dialog. Oh my gosh. Would this be the date filter dialog? Or date filter settings? Interesting. One dev, do you think I could learn from watching the introduction to Prism for WPF in terms of applying that knowledge to Xamarin Forms? I think I should go into WPF as those are very similar and there are a lot of content. Oh, not really. Because Xamarin Forms navigation is so much different. It's actually based on the Xamarin Forms page navigation. All Prism for Xamarin Forms does is call the underlying Xamarin Forms API. And so it's really different. Even the way you register and use modules are completely different. So no, I wouldn't say that. There are some things like the commanding, event aggregation, those things would totally transfer over. So you could definitely watch, there's modules on that. So you could watch those in that course and get a good understanding. But yeah, Comrade, yeah, it's edit inception. Edit inception. It is, it's crazy. Like I almost think this control's too complicated. So that makes you wonder, like, okay, does this go under edit mode or not? Tony, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Okay. Yeah, see, this is hard. These are just, and this decision we make will impact every user of this. Every user. So when we start thinking about this date filter, so we have the show date filter, show dashboard filter, which is this. And there could be more than one dashboard filter. But it would apply to all of them. So it might need to be an S. Show dashboard filters menu. Yes, this is a native WPF app. Sure is. Now, I will tell you that all this pretty stuff you see here, we're actually using Sharp to render all of this. Right? So that's a cool little technology that we use to render all of our data visualizations that you're seeing here in front of you right now. Right? Sharp. But it is native. It's definitely native. One dev. Cool, since I have you here, I was discovering something yesterday. In Android, I believe view models are still stored, even if you temporarily close the application, but as Xamarin Forms and VM. View models. Oh, I think you lost your, didn't finish there. Oh, there it is. Are always gone when navigating. Understood that when you pass parameters, but I thought view models would actually contain the state. Are there any store like that for Redux? So view models don't really work that way. What happens is in Xamarin Forms, when the page is created, the view model is associated with the page, and then that will maintain the state. However, if you ever navigate away, like pop that page off the stack by going back, all of that is gone. It's all lost. Nothing is kept around at all. Now, if you're using version 8, there is a bug with a memory leak right now where we're not clearing out an attached property, which is holding on to the navigation service, which contains a reference to the page, but that's going to be fixed soon. However, nothing gets, once you pop that page off that stack, it is gone. There's view model page, it's all gone. No state is being saved. You will be responsible for saving any state. Okay. This is where it gets, I mean, this isn't bad. Edit settings. But what happens when you want to change something here? Like, for example, this is probably a better example. Show dashboard filters. Yeah. Because we have an edit. Right? So, can edit date filter. Right? And then we have a can edit dash, whoops, board filters, right? So let me put some spaces between here so I can actually read this. So that would control, actually, can delete date filter. Right? And then can delete dashboard filter. Because if you look at this, you have the option to delete it or edit it. So we probably want to expose the ability to control those individually. Can add dashboard filter, right? You see how this kind of blows up? Can add dashboard filter. Like, this is kind of what I'm thinking about, right? Thanks, one dev. Funny mackerel. Skia is used for drawing charts. Yeah, we are using Skia to draw these charts. C#, it's just all C# and Skia. Okay, so I think, like, initially, if we're RevealView.edit settings, these kind of make sense, right? We're controlling what we can do while we're in edit mode. What about these? What about these? What about these menus? You know what? Things you can also do is you can move things around. Like, what if we had... See, this stuff gets complicated. Can move visualization. I'm gonna say viz for now. I don't want to type it all out. Right, so, but I know what it means. Can move viz. Can resize visualization, right? Is Skia free? Yeah, Skia is free. It's on Nougat, actually. It's a Nougat package called Skia Sharp. And it's just the ability to use C# to draw things. It's all... Here, we could take a peek right quick, right? Look at Skia Sharp. Oh, not that one. Here we go. Skia Sharp. Cross-platform 2D graphics API for .NET platforms based on Google's Skia graphics library. And this is what you can use it on. All of these different platforms. So our Xamarin components, for example, WinUI, UWP, Uno, all of our components, data visualization components are built with Skia. So we can target all these platforms with one code base. So it's actually pretty cool. So yeah, see, Uno. So if you were to go look, for example, at Infragistics, this is the company I work for. It's called Infragistics. And if you were to look at like WinUI, for example, these charts right here and right here, and this is all built with Skia and the grid, yeah. So it's pretty powerful stuff. Pretty powerful. All right, so we can move, can resize. Can you edit the visualization? But see now, oh my gosh. Would you do something like this? Can edit visualization? Right? Would that make sense? But then we have rename, copy, duplicate. Like we have so much nesting here. I'm not sure how this would really work. I mean, we could say show visualization menu. So if you don't show that, you won't see any of that on edit. You'd only be able to add new ones. You can't edit existing ones, right? Can rename, can copy, can duplicate. I mean, what do you all think about this? Are we going down the right path? Can copy. Can duplicate. What was the other one? Rename. Rename, that's what it was. Can rename. Can delete. Right? And should it be can delete or show delete? Probably can. Can delete. Yeah, can copy viz. Can duplicate viz. Can rename viz. Can delete visualization. Show visualization menu. But we'll kind of get to the same problem that we have with the edit. Uncle Bob would say, don't use names with the... Yeah, the real property will not be named viz. I just don't want to type it out. It will actually be visualization in the real control. I'm not going to use the actual viz for these names. It will actually be, visualization. It's just I don't want to type it out, right? Because we're just kind of mocking things up, like pseudocode. We're trying to figure out how we're going to structure this. And so if we look at the OneNote, these weren't even in there. But these are things that you'd be able to do. It looks like these, like calculated fields, that all has to do with this screen. Nope, not that. Sorry, excuse me. This screen here. The visualization settings. Right? And then you have a data tab, which allows you to do stuff. Then you have a settings tab that allows you to do stuff. Then you have these filters. Then you have the ability to change your chart type. Okay, I'm gonna wait to get into that. That is complicated. I mean, I'm kind of comfortable with kind of where we're going. The only thing I'm really confused about is how we're going to handle editing the date filter, campaign, and dashboard filters, because I can add more dashboard filters here. Right now, what? Well, hold on. What do you? What was that? What was that? Oh my god! Oh my god! Was that a super chat? Gustav! My friend! My first ever! Oh my gosh. I am so appreciative. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't even know what to say. I never had one of those before. Yeah, greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Okay. So back to this. So one approach, right? So let me delete this. One approach is with the edit settings, RevealView.edit settings dashboard. Make this a little bigger. I mean, we're getting kind of crazy now. Dashboard filter settings. God. And then off that, you can add properties like can edit, right? Can delete. Basically move these off of the edit settings and into a sub object. But that's getting a little crazy, right? That, I don't know if I like that. Because if you're doing this in XAML, for example, I mean, your code's going to look something like RV RevealView.edit settings, right? Let me scroll up a little bit. Then you would have RV RevealView. I can't spell, but that's fine. Edit settings. You'd have that object. Wait, no, it would be an edit. Oh my gosh. When IntelliSense doesn't work, it's really tough. Right, we'll have something like this. That would not be a closing one. It'd be like that. Then you would have to do RV RevealView. No, edit settings, excuse me. RV.edit settings .dashboard filter settings. Right? Right? And then RV dashboard edit settings. And you would have like can edit. And then on this you would have other properties like, you know, show something. Oh man, that's brutal. Don't you think? Do you think that's... think that's kind of brutal? I mean, maybe it's not too bad. But then you would have not only this... Oh my gosh, I don't know if I like that. Then you would have to have this. You would have your date filter. Right? Yeah, I'm not sure I like that. That is... And I want it to be intuitive. Like, I want it to make sense. But we have such a complex control. Comrade, not a fan of typing, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, either. Fortunately, Visual Studio gives you IntelliSense. Now on the web, oh no, we have IntelliSense on the web too, because you use Visual Studio Code, right? What Luba 1? What is the application being worked on? Basically, what am I looking at right now? Okay, so what we're doing right now is this, what you see here, what I'm showing you right now, this is called Reveal. And it's a embedded data analytics SDK. And what we are doing is we are designing an API for this control. And this SDK is a real product sold by my company called Infragistics, and it's quite an expensive product. And so we're trying to give the developer the best API that we can. So we are designing this together, right? I'm looking for your input on how we should design this API to where if you use this, you're like, oh, this is an awesome API. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. It's like butter just off my fingertips on my keyboard, right? Like that's what I'm going for. Unfortunately, this is a complex product. And that normally means you're going to have a complex API, but I don't want that. And so one thing we were experimenting with in Visual Studio with some pseudocode is if we took this approach with sub-objects for settings, but then you'd have settings inside of settings. And the reason we run into this is, so right now, let me close this, right? This is a view, right? This is the root level reveal view. But we can go into edit, and now we're proposing we create what's called edit settings to control what you can do inside this view. But then you can go and you can edit dashboard filters. So maybe... Okay, so we have a couple options, I think. I don't like what we have now. What do you think? I'm pretty sure if I'm not a fan of this, I'm guessing most of you are not fans of this either. Because that's a lot, and it's confusing, right? Is it confusing, or would it make sense? I don't know, I'm typing, it's like, oh, okay, I'm in edit mode. Dashboard filter, I want to be able to edit this. Now I have to be able to control what I can do within this dialog. So my dashboard filter settings, right? But where does that live? Well, hold on. If I can edit the dashboard filter settings here. I can also, oh, this is different. Okay. I was hoping that would be the same, but it's not. It's not the same. What Lubo, thank you very much. Almir, my friend, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Okay, golly. Because what I was thinking, let's get out of here. Because, you know, originally I was kind of thinking, oh yeah, okay, so if this is dashboard filter settings, then I can control if I can edit, if I can delete, and when I'm edit, then I can control these things. Right? So for example, set up data source, change data source. So in our pseudocode, right, can change data source. Right? This is kind of what I was thinking here. Oh, I hit my numlock. Right? So, I mean, you could say can edit, can delete, right? So the can edit, maybe even show menu. Right? So if we did that, if we come back to the app, basically that would control this entire object. All of these, right? So for example, can add filter. Like this, right? So I better close my email. Because otherwise I will get bombarded with emails. Okay, so, but that allows me to focus the dashboard edit settings. No, not edit, filter. We would have a sub object. And then we could do the same thing for the date filter under edit settings. And then under edit settings, where's the app? Here it is. Under edit settings, then we could have the can resize, can move, show visualization menu, right? Can duplicate, things like that. And that would control everything in this area. But if we, but if we did that, then the C# code looks something like, you know, RevealView .edit settings .dashboard filter settings .can edit. Right? I mean, that's pretty, golly, I'm just not a fan. But it would work. Ali, good to see you. Long time no see indeed, my friend. Thank you so much for joining. Glad to have you. You can help me design this freaking API. Okay, so this is one approach. This is one approach. One approach we can do. I'm gonna comment that out. Let's comment this out. Oh, I missed it. I need to get the whole thing. Comment this out. Okay, so another thing we could do, looking at this app, I mean, this is, we can edit, we can show this menu, we can edit, we can add more. So if we decided to keep this approach, let's just focus on the dashboard thing for now, right? So this is one approach we can do. And then this, right? And then we have these properties under edit settings, okay? That would basically just control this top level. Like, that's all it would control. It would only control what you could do here. Your interactions with this menu, that menu. But once you open that, maybe you go into dashboard filters. Oh, crud. Dashboard filters setting. I'm not sure if that makes sense, though. We have dashboard filter there. Hold on, let me go back to here. So you can edit. Change data source. You set up a new data source. Okay. Display field, you could change the display field. And it looks like you can edit and disconnect visualizations. And if I edit a visualization, now I'm in this other type of view. Oh my gosh. Chris Anders, hello from Germany. Thank you for joining, Chris. Good to see you. Okay. And this is the same view that we saw when we could edit here. Ugh. Oh my gosh. Problems. Problems. How do we solve these problems? Bo from Denmark, thanks for joining. Zaf learns to code. There seems to be a such thing as too much customization since everything seems edible. Yes. You're absolutely right. Too much. India. Hello from India. Thank you for joining, Manny. Good to see you. Wow, what time is it in India? Isn't it pretty late? Oh, yeah, it is late. 10:30 p.m. Thanks for joining so late. Oh, crap. I'm stuck. I don't know what the right answer is. There's too much. There's too much. Just like Zath Learns to Code said, there's too much customization. And when there's so much customization, you're gonna have a bloated API, and I do not like bloated APIs. What I do know is I don't think this flat is gonna work at all. This isn't gonna work at all, this edit settings. Where you just throw everything in there, because you don't know what these apply to at all. So I kind of wanted to position them or name them or put them in objects that when you use it, you know what it's controlling. So if you hit edit, edit dashboard filter settings. Filter connection. Oh. So that's a filter connection. What about a method in the top object that takes the inner panel and a settings object? Though it's be quite complex, it looked like it'd be a little easier in code. Maybe in code, but we still like for... That might work really well for web, but for WPF, that won't work very well. We need something XAML friendly. It's got to be XAML friendly, data binding friendly, MVVM, all that great stuff. And man, I'm supposed to have the answers, and I don't have the answer to this. I do know that the flat won't work. This won't work. I know that. See, can copy visualization. That would belong in here. That would belong in here. Show data blending? Show data blending. That's something that's like in here somewhere. Right? Where is that? Oh, maybe I can't do it with this type. Okay. So, where I was going with this is something like RevealView, dashboard, filter, settings. But if we did that, would we put this? Would we put this under edit settings? So Chris says, what about a markup extension or attached property in combination with the idea? The problem with those is they're not discoverable, right? And they will differ from the code behind experience, right? So when you're designing an API, we don't want like multiple ways to do the same thing. We want to standardize. So if we're using markup extensions in XAML, which are very hard to discover, you basically have to read the docs to know they exist. You can't just IntelliSense into them. When you're in the C# code, using attached properties are even more complicated. And then you would have to do something different, like the method approach, right? Pass settings into a method or something like that. So yeah, I want to find something that works both ways, right? And so if we surfaced the dashboard filter settings object off the root, we can then move these to there. So the edit settings would be you're in edit mode, and you would control... Actually, what if you don't do that? What if we don't put that on there? What if we do like this, but you do have that? And then this becomes the root object. Can edit dashboard filters, can delete dashboard filter, or filters, whatever we call it. S, no S, doesn't matter. So when I'm in edit mode, can you add a visualization? Yes or no? Can you add filters? Oh, yeah, yes or no? But actually controlling these menus would be a separate settings object off of the root. So basically, if we open up our code here, we replace this. Like this. Right? That's what it would be. So that might not be bad. That wouldn't exist here. Actually, let me put that... No, I'll remove that. What I'm going to do... Let's copy our settings here. And then we will get rid of this. Can... And here we go, can add dashboard filters. Right, something like this instead. I mean, if you wanted this on one line, you could do one line. Oh, my Control K isn't working. I mean, you could do it on one line if you wanted to. So that might make it look a little nicer. Whoops. I meant to hit enter. So that's not horrible. It's probably better than what we were doing here. With the nested object inside the nested object, right? I mean, this does look cleaner. And then I guess for... I mean, we take a similar approach with the date filter settings. Right? And then can... Or no. Show date filter menu. Right? Something like that. Show dashboard filter menu. Something like that. And then when we run, so if we run the app and we're thinking along those lines, so on the edit settings level, we control if you can add, right? Does this show up? Does that menu show up? Does this menu show up? If they do show up, oh, wait a minute. Maybe the show menu doesn't exist there. Maybe it's just that. And the edit settings determine if those menus pop up. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Okay, let's just kind of keep talking through it. Let's just kind of keep talking through it. Where's the app? So if we're on edit settings, we go into edit mode. Now the edit settings take over. Can add a visualization. We still have to talk about this menu, but can add dashboard filters. Does that belong here? Does that belong here? I don't know. Because we'll have a dashboard. Oh my gosh. See? We'll have this object here. So would we want something like show menu? And this comes off here. Like all of these, actually. This would just be show filters.
Even though the art of the ninja is far more sophisticated than just martial arts, students start with simple climbing techniques.
Oh my gosh. So complicated.
The ninja also developed ninjutsu.
I don't know, because if I have dashboard filter settings, maybe the menu doesn't belong there. Maybe this only controls what you can do within the settings object, right? So something like that. Maybe we should stick with something like that. And maybe this comes off here and stays there. And we're only controlling what you can see. Maybe it shouldn't. Maybe it should just be this. Show dashboard filters. Show date filter. Oh, wait a minute. I think we might be getting somewhere. Okay, wait. I think we might be getting somewhere. This is going to determine if you see the date filter. This is going to be determined if you see the dashboard filter. Now, the concept of the date filter and dashboard filter are the UI element, right? This will then show. And then this button and this will be considered the dashboard filters. So it's either show that or show this. And if you show them, well, then you can go into the date filter settings to control what it does. Because you may want to show the filter, right? You may want to show this filter, but you don't want to show the menu. You may also want to set a default value. I'll worry about that later. I'm only concerned about settings right now. And so I may want to show this campaign ID, but I don't want to allow them to edit it. So I'm going to, or delete it. So I'm going to show them. I'm not going to show the menu. And they can't add new ones. I don't know. What do you think about that? I mean, maybe that's not bad. Maybe this isn't bad. Right? Show menu. Gotta have ability to show menu here. Can't change data source. Okay, okay. Now, hold on. Now we gotta talk about, so if we agree that this is good for like controlling the UI part, right? So edit settings basically says, hey, show the date filter, show dashboard filters. True or false? Yes or no? Okay. Setting that's going to determine if these even show in the first place. If you do show them, but you want to modify how they behave, then you have to set the date filter settings or the date filter dashboard filter settings. Right? So can edit, can delete, show menu. But when you edit, are we going to be able to control anything here? Well, yeah, because you're saying you can edit. So just let them edit the freaking thing. Don't get super crazy with it, people. If I say edit, you're allowed to edit. But this is different because we might not want them to be able to change the data source. Or set up a new one. We want them to use this. Okay. Because we might not want them, we might force them to use just this data source. We don't want them changing a new data source or anything. Oh, well, would you need to be able to hide that menu? Show data source menu? I mean, we could do something, maybe we call that the data source menu. Right? So you have the data source menu, can change data source, can add dashboard filters. Oh wait, shoot. Actually, this belongs up here to that one. Can switch data source.
Hey Dad, how are you?
Hey, buddy.
Right? Something like that.
Just finishing up the record. I'm in Berkeley right now.
Oh, that's cool. How's the record going?
This could be the data source menu.
I'm really happy with it.
Show data source menu.
Listening to a lot of
Can set up data source, can change data source. And that would hide this. That would control that.
Since Bay Area indie rap, you know, he's been around for a while and he started small, you know, with his East Bay roots, grown the whole Bay Area.
Oh. What do you all think of that one?
You know, he's one of the best.
What do you all think of that one?
chill,
Do you like what we have so far?
chill,
Let me know. Let me know. Is this
chill.
okay?
Sometimes kind of
I think it's better than this. With the nested objects. Because this, I think that's going to get crazy. I think I'm going to delete this. Because I'm pretty sure we don't want to go that route. I'm pretty sure we do not want to go that route, right? And this keeps the API a little cleaner. Right? Comrade Chris, they like it. Okay. All right. So now let's kind of keep moving forward. Let's keep moving forward. We're making progress. So when we're in here, we can control that. And I'm assuming, like, if you want to control selection, show date filter, data filters. Like, I don't see why you would ever want to hide that at all. I'm pretty sure everything else in here you would stick to. Like, you wouldn't change this. Now, you might want to say can change filter name. Can edit filter name, something like that. Augustine says the second option looks nicer and cleaner. Perfect. That is what we're going for. You may want to have an option to, you know, not be able to change the filter name. But we'll leave that because we can always extend the API. Like, if someone requests that, it's like, oh yeah, can edit name, filter name, whatever. Like, or just set the name. Whatever. Okay, so I think this is good. I think we can keep kind of going down this path. So, along with the filter, so if you're here, now we have to determine if we... I'm pretty sure it doesn't make sense to try to not provide this functionality, because if you edit this, like, oh, you're going to allow them to edit the dashboard filter, but then you're going to stop them from actually doing anything with the visualizations? Right? I don't see why you would want to do that. That makes no sense. You would be taking the functionality of this screen away completely. So I'm pretty sure we want to leave this. We want to leave this as is. I'm pretty sure we want to leave this as is. Because this screen is the same screen that we get when we edit here. Same screen. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. I think we made really good progress, actually. This is looking pretty good. Okay, so now let's keep looking at what we can do on the edit settings. We're still in the context of edit settings. I think we were talking about the can resize, can move. Like we can move these around. Like maybe you don't want them moving. Maybe you don't want them resizing. So that would go on here as well. Can resize. Visualization. Right. Whoops. And then can move. I'm not sure if there was a delete, but let's assume there's a delete. Right? Like that makes sense. That makes sense to me. You're moving around in here. Yeah, there is a delete. Oh yeah, the rename, copy, duplicate, like all that goes in there. The only thing that might be... No, I think it works. Because what I was about to say is because we decided to throw this into its own settings object, why don't we follow the same approach here? Right? Like this would be its own setting object. But there's many of them. Oh. Because would it make sense that they, like the API is a little different? Like would it make sense like, oh yeah, I can show visualization, can move. Well, can move, can resize, that all makes sense. Because it's interaction in the edit settings. But delete, like things that show in the menu? Maybe not. Maybe we need also show visualization menu. Right? So we want to be able to control if these menus are visible. If you don't show it, then none of this shows up. So if that's the case, if we're doing that, maybe we should follow the same path. Maybe we need to follow the same path of like visualization settings. Chris says, I have Java at school. I hate it so much. C# is much better. I also prefer C#. I used to do Java back in the day. I used to use Notepad with the Java Swing library to write my UIs. How ridiculous is that? And then I got into Java Beans and all that crazy stuff. I forgot what IDE I used back in the day for that, actually. I don't remember what it was called. It was the popular editor about 10, 15 years ago. All right. So maybe we don't put this here. Whoop, not that one. Maybe we need to do something similar with visualization settings. So let me minimize this, minimize that. I'll put it right here. Maybe we need to follow the same pattern. Right? Something like that. Chris is 23, 12 years coding experience with 9. Oh, no, you've been coding a while, my friend. NetBeans! Yes! That was it! Hold on, I have something. That was it. Thank you. NetBeans. I do remember Eclipse. I do remember Eclipse. But it was NetBeans. Hold on. Is there an image? Hold on real quick. I got a NetBeans. That sounds so familiar. I could swear that was it. Give me an image. Yeah. Yep, NetBeans. It was NetBeans. That was it. Sweet. Okay. So if we take the same approach where the edit settings really controls what you interact with, right? But the actual properties to control if you can edit, delete, show the menu, things like that are on the visualization settings. But this is where the problem, like, okay, that's fine. Okay, and then we go into edit, but we have settings here. We have a data tab and a settings tab. Wow. This one will be complex. This one will definitely be complex. Now, well, maybe not necessarily. Because, I mean, that might work. Chris, and my favorite topic of coding is parsing and building DSLs and compilers. DSLs. Good old DSLs. Comrade learned coding in college with a pen and paper not so long ago. Oh, Jesus. Jesus, pen and paper. No, thank you. I thought Notepad was bad. At least I could type in Notepad. At least I could type in Notepad and compile the command line. Okay, so... Okay, so this... Hold on. I gotta think about this. Hold on. The problem... I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I could do this. I'm thinking about this now. Let's cancel this. Because each one of these is a visualization. And each visualization will have its own settings. Right? So... I'm gonna delete this here. So what I mean by that... Well, no, because I think there's RevealView.visualizations, which will give you a collection of all the visualizations. So if I got like the first one, but then I would just say settings, you know, and then some property, right? So maybe this isn't bad. Because the underlying objects that are bound to this here, right? Because each one of these cards, each one of these visualizations is supported by an underlying business object called a visualization. And that business object has its own properties. First OOP language was good old VB6. Nice. I think I started with C++. I think I started with C++. And then I went to Java. And then a little bit of VB, couldn't stand that. And then C#. And then TypeScript, JavaScript stuff, right? What are your thoughts on Vue versus Vue model first? Oh, man. Should I get on my soapbox now or later? There is a place for both, right? I personally prefer Vue first. Now, Now, I see the benefits of view model first because you would, in your view model, you don't want references to your view. So if you don't have the ability to have a navigation structure or framework that allows you to navigate to views without referencing the view, then you'll most likely have to use a view model first because you need a way to navigate to a view from within a view model. But you can't reference that view model. So a lot of people like to go view model first. And so what they'll do is they'll say, okay, I have this view model, and then I'm going to use a data template to represent that view model. And then when I, navigate to this view model from within a view model, which is, it's still a coupling, but it's better than referencing a view, then the data template will just show the view based on that view model object, right? Using an implicit data template. Well, I don't like that because for one, it's really, really slow. You're using data templates for your views. So you're going to throw your view model object into some region, some type of control, and then a implicit data template will be applied. Your bindings can be complicated. You might struggle with getting the right data context. And also, you're still creating a coupling in your view model. You're still creating a coupling between a view model and a view model. Not as bad as a view and a view, or a view model and a view, but still, it's a coupling that I don't like. You won't ever see me with a view model referencing another view model in my view models, right? Man, I said view model a lot. That's like, right? So that's why I like to use something called Prism, which allows you to have a navigation framework based on a unique identifier, like a string. And so you're not coupling any view model to a view or view model. You basically say, hey, I'm going to navigate to this ID, whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but it's an ID. And then it's going to be responsible for injecting the correct view. So there's no data templates involved. You can use dependency injection to create these views, dependency injection to create the view models. Passing parameters is a lot easier. The performance hit isn't there with implicit data templates. I just like it. Oh, and it's easier to mock. So if you're unit testing, which you should be, it's easier to mock, a string. I'm navigating to this unique identifier than I'm navigating to this specific view, right? Or view model, because you want to be able to mock those in unit tests. So I prefer view first, but I use a navigation framework to get me there. I don't navigate directly to the view. I hope that makes sense. Right. What are your thoughts on the old water cooler saying WPF is dead? Oh, that's hilarious. WPF is by far not dead at all and still kicking UWP's butt to this day. Aren't many UWP apps in the real world. Those Fortune 500 companies. Let's put it this way. You know what? Let's look. Let's look real quick. Hold on. I gotta log in with a different. I gotta go back and log in with my personal here. All right, so let's look at how many total downloads of Prism. What's that? Prism has almost 17 million packages. Downloads, and we're gonna look Prism WPF by itself has 2.1 million downloads. I would say, and we average 62,000 downloads. Oh, excuse me, 1,000 downloads a day. That's huge. That's a huge WPF adoption. Okay. I should make a video on the view versus view model. I could. Okay, let's get back. I gotta focus. Because it's almost lunchtime. I got 30 minutes left. Hey, we're making good progress, though. So my concern was if we had RevealView .visualization settings, that it might conflict with the objects settings. But I don't think that's I don't think that would be an issue. Ooh, someone's flexing. You know it. Flex. I flex my downloads. Flexing my downloads. That's what we do. We flex our downloads, right? Isn't that what you do? That's what I do.
So you want to use the internet?
You need to.
Do it!
Just do it.
Just do it!
Just do it. Just flex. Flex those downloads. What? Your package doesn't have 17 million downloads? What? Get out of it. No, get out of here. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, yeah. Chris talking about the education revolution for coding. Better believe it. Would be interesting, your thoughts on Maui versus Uno. You know what? I'm reserving my comments on Maui right now. Because, you know, it's not an honest comparison because it's not ready. Right? Uno's ready. Uno's ready today. There's some Visual Studio issues. It's not their fault, but there's some tooling issues around Uno. But like I said, that's Microsoft's fault. So you could use Uno today, which is nice. Maui, we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. I think Uno's doing it right. The one thing I don't like about Xamarin Forms and Maui is that you have to invent another XAML language, whereas with Uno, it's just UWP XAML, which is very close to WPF XAML. I've converted a number of projects to UWP by just copying and pasting my XAML out. You cannot do that in Xamarin. It's completely different names for everything. Instead of a data context, it's binding context, height request, width request, stack layout instead of stack pan. Like there's all kinds of different weird things that don't exist in Xamarin Forms that do exist in UWP. So yeah, there's a lot of things that could be improved for sure. So I'm gonna wait and see what they do with Maui, besides just restructuring their projects and stuff, before I really like form an opinion. But I was going to do a video with total clickbait title called "Xamarin Forms is Dead." Total clickbait. I mean, technically it is, because it's going to become Maui, you know. But I thought that would have been a funny video to do. Everyone reacts to the "is dead" things, right? One thing I don't understand: Maui MSS cross-platform, but don't support Linux. You got to understand, most of the time when Microsoft says cross-platform, they mean cross-Windows platform for the most part, right? Their definition of cross-platform is different than like ours, like mine. Like if I really wanted to hit up cross-platform, I'm looking at things like web-based technologies I can do with Electron, maybe React Native. That way I can hit desktop on Windows. I can get desktop on Mac. I can do iOS. I can hit web browsers, right? All that stuff. So focus, Brian. I gotta sleep. Yeah, I know. Okay. I'm back. Focused on this API we're trying to create. Okay, so we're back to here where we're in edit settings, right? This is edit, and then we have a visualization settings. Now, visualization settings will control this and this, maybe, right? Maybe this. Benjamin, able to catch you streaming for once. Oh, I'm so glad you could join. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you all. I appreciate every one of you. I'm not here by myself. Because trust me, my Twitch friends were telling me, Brian, if you move to YouTube, no one's going to talk to you and you'll be all by yourself. They try to scare me. Prove them wrong. I'm going to take screenshots of all this chat and tell them, look, you are totally wrong. The YouTube community is strong. I think that Twitch community might have a little, mightier than thou, like, attitude a little bit, just a little bit. Nah, I'm just making fun. I'm not serious. I'm just making fun. Okay, we're your friends. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Thank you for joining me. Okay. So this is where we build the visualization out. This is where we connect our, we have our data source. Looks like we can edit the data source. We can refresh it. So we have things we can do here. So here's a menu that we can control. And of course, our fields. We have our types, our chart types we can control here. We have filters we can control here, a date filter and a dashboard filter. And settings, like for styling. Right, so how do we do this? How? Oh, wait a minute, what's this? Visualization filter. How is that different than one of these filters? Wait a minute. Wait, what are... I'm confused. I'm confused. Okay, wait a minute. I didn't know there was a difference. Shows you how much I use this product. Okay, I didn't know there was a difference. Where are these coming from? Where are the... Let's cancel. Discard. Benjamin, I'll throw a question while I'm at it. Have a problem with broker.exe when I'm trying to do a Xamarin project. Every time it runs, my browsers won't respond. If anyone has a tip. Yeah, sorry, I can't help you there. I haven't run into that issue personally. Maybe someone in the chat might experience that one. Okay. I didn't realize there was a difference. So let's do this. I don't want to mess this one up. So I'm going to... Let's cancel this. I'm going to save as my test. Jeez. Okay. So there's my test. Now I can mess with this one. I can mess this one up. I don't care. And actually, I'm going to delete. Let's delete. You know what? What? I can't hit the delete key? That seems like I should be able to hit the delete key to delete that instead of having to click a menu. Really? Okay, I'm trying to see what controls those filters. And if these filters... Are these filters the visualization filters? Okay, now let's add a visualization. Let me use that. And I lost that information. That's okay. We'll select data. Let's go. I'm going to add a row. I don't know what my row is going to be. Let's go spend. And I don't care what it could be a line chart for all I care. Add visualization filter date. Add visualization filter. What did I say? Territory? Yeah, territory. Boom. Okay, that didn't do anything. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I got it. So this one is a filter for the entire dashboard. Right, so you have a date filter that applies to everything. I can connect that. Yesterday. And that should go away. Yep, okay. Okay, I got it. Got it. Okay, so if I go back to campaigns here. So these filters are visualization filter. These are our dashboard filters. Once the date, so this is like a global date one, and this is whatever we added at the dashboard level. Got it. Okay. So we're thinking visualization settings. Right, so what can I do in visualization settings? So if we're saying that each of these show menu, okay, wait, what am I saying? What am I saying? Can move, can resize, show visualization menu. Okay, that's going to determine if this menu will show up on these visualizations. Now we have a visualization settings, which will control. Oh, wait a minute. Show menu? Okay, so show menu goes away here. Right? Oh, wait. What did we do? Okay, maybe we don't put this here. Oh my gosh. What do you think? So what we did... For the date filter and the dashboard filters, we said that the responsibility of showing the menu relied on the settings object. Show menu, can edit, can delete. So that means we wouldn't put this here, right? We would want to follow the same pattern. Because once you learn the API, you want it to be familiar and intuitive. Like, oh, it worked this way with that. Okay, so then we have show menu on the settings. So once we're in the settings, we can rename, copy, duplicate, delete, edit. Oh my gosh. Question. Should we just flatten these options onto the visualization settings? Or should we have an edit settings as well? Because this is a different screen. Oh, okay. Let's look. Let's think. Let's think. So, for example, some of these they were looking at is can add calculated fields. Right? That was one they were looking at adding. What's another one? Show data blending. These are just examples, right? Okay, and so adding those on visualization settings would also control these as well. Right? So controlling these as well. So the settings object would control what you see here. If you can edit the visualization settings. If you rename, copy. But see, this is... renaming this visualization. Copy this visualization. Duplicate. Or edit. And then change all these properties like calculated fields. Like filter. Okay. Category. Can edit data source. Or show data source menu. Something like that, right? Something like show data source menu. Chris, gotta go. All right, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. I hope to see you next time. Okay, so we could do show data source menu. Can edit data source. Right? Can refresh data source. Like essentially throw all of the properties that are controlled in here inside of just visualization settings. I'm not sure what to do with this because I think the settings here are different. So let's go to like something like this. Yeah, see, these settings are different. But I'm not sure you would do much on this side. I think it'd be mainly on the data side anyways. I'm thinking it would mainly happen on this side here. I don't think you would ever really want to change this. Because what's the point of editing a visualization if you don't allow them to do that? Like, what's the freaking point? Like, don't let them even edit or create a visualization if you're going to do that. Chart types. Oh, yeah. Ooh, I want to control my chart types. Available chart types. And we can have a type converter here, but you could do something like line, pie, right? Time series. Like you can you could do a type converter instead of having to do everything in code. Ooh, or exclude chart types. Right? Because maybe I don't want all the chart types available. I don't know, but it's an option. It's an option. It's something we could do. I mean, this isn't horrible, actually. Excuse me, I got something. I mean, this isn't bad. Seems pretty flexible. What do you all think? What do you all think of this visualization settings? Are we the right direction here? Anybody? Anybody? No opinions? No one has opinions? I really think we should have the can delete visualization. Right? Comrade likes it. Okay. Yeah, definitely better than the first choice. It's a lot cleaner. It's not so nested. And then, like, even the code, like, yeah, see, that would be crazy. Instead, you'd have RevealView dot visualization settings dot show menu, right? Same thing here. What the heck? Right? Edit settings. Show date filter. RevealView dot date filter settings dot show menu. Oops. Yeah, that feels a little better than what we were going with that nested mess earlier. Right. RevealView. Visualization settings. Whatever. No. Visualization settings. Dot. What was another option we had? Actually, I forgot. What do we have? Yeah, can edit data source. Nope, can't edit data source. I'm not allowing it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's not bad. That's not bad at all, actually. I think we might have figured it out. It's easier to have them separate, I think. Yeah, I think you're right, Benjamin. I think you're right. I still think about allowed charts. Is it possible to use their kind of multi-select enum? Not... Oh, I don't know about XAML. So, there's a couple of different ways to do collections in XAML, right? One is you use a string, right? Line, pi, bar, whatever. And then you add a type converter that would then convert that string to your enum type. And you would decorate your chart type property with that type converter. Okay, that's one way. Another way is to make it a complex property. So, you know, you kind of get back into this scenario. And then you have this. You'd have boom dot available chart types. And then you would provide a collection, you know, of your chart type. Bar chart. You know, RV pie chart. You know, you could do it like that as well. But I kind of prefer the available chart types here. Now in code, it would be an actual collection. So in code, you'd say RevealView.visualization. I'll say viz settings because I'm tired of typing that. Dot. Maybe it's just chart types. Dot add. And then chart types dot pi. Right. So, or you could do like add range. Right. But this would kind of what it would be in code. Chart types. So you had visualization settings chart types add or remove, right? Which ones you don't want in there. So that's one approach. Or you could add the available chart types property and provide the ones you do want. But I think actually providing the ones you don't want is more common because I'd rather have because there's a lot of different chart types, right? Like there's a lot here, and you may just not care about a couple of them, right? So yeah, I mean, that part of the API I haven't really thought through because honestly, if I wanted to replace all of them except for a couple, where's my Visual Studio? Then in code, I would say chart types equals new list of chart types, right? And then you would provide your chart types in here, your bar and your pi and whatever. I mean, that's another way, right? Just override the chart types collection with the ones you want. Code is a lot more flexible. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be added, but I can see it being requested. Because I think I would be a person that would request that. Like, I would be able to choose what chart types I don't want in there. But I think this might work. I think it's better than what we've come up with before. Benjamin, for some data, some charts don't make sense. It'd be better to have everything at first and make a choice. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. So, I mean, this may not ever really come to fruition. That's just me trying to think ahead, right? When I design APIs, I really try to think ahead. It doesn't mean I'm going to add it to the API, but it means this might make it into the API one day. So let's just kind of plan ahead for it, because that would be great. Okay. Oh. Ooh, I might have to buy some GameStop real quick. It's down. It's down. No, I'm not going to buy. Not buying GameStop. Focus. Stay focused. API, Brian. Don't get in the stocks. I'm still mad I lost $127 this morning. Dang it. God, it makes me so mad. I just wasn't smart. I chased it. I shouldn't have chased it. I went against my trading strategy. I never chase. Never chase, but I felt good about that one. When will you learn, Brian? When will you learn?
Hey, pal. You just blowing from stupid.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go with this. I think I'm gonna go with this. I'm going to propose this API to the team. And then we can have a discussion about it. But what they had before was just not going to work. Yeah, I like this. Okay. Keeping this. Keeping that. Do not delete this. I know it doesn't compile, but save it. I know it doesn't compile. That is fine. That is my code. That's what I'm going with. What time is it? Oh, man, look at that. That was freaking perfect timing. It's lunchtime. It's lunchtime, people. Well, at least for me it is. It might not be lunchtime for you wherever you're at. Especially coming from India, Germany, right? It's late over there. Actually, what time is it now in India? Is it like midnight now? I forgot how long yeah, it's 11:30. 11:30 p.m. Almost. Hi, Brian. This is K1. Oh, K1. Good to see you. Thanks for joining me here on YouTube. Yep, 11:30. Man, see? All my Twitch friends were wrong. All my Twitch friends were wrong. Completely wrong. I love you guys. Michael Harris, time to pick up my daughter from school. Oh, okay. Well, hey, Michael, thanks for joining, man. I really appreciate your time, spending it with me. You know, that's awesome. 2 a.m. in Taiwan. Oh, my gosh. I can't even stay up to 2 a.m. anymore. I used to like just pound out code. Australia, 7 p.m. So it is 12 p.m. my time. So I'm in Boise, Idaho. Quick, anyone know where that's on a map? Quick. Time's up. Sorry. Can't Google it. So I'm in Boise, Idaho, and it's 12 p.m. my time. And actually, I have a work meeting starting right now. I have a work meeting. They can wait a few minutes, though. They can wait a few minutes while I wrap this up. Montreal. Oh, Montreal. I gave a user group talk at the Montreal user group. And it was funny because someone set me up. Because it was hockey season. It was my first time giving a talk. And they gave me a jersey. Like, hey, Brian, when you go to this user group in Montreal, wear this jersey. They're going to love you. I forgot which jersey it was. It might have been the Canadian jersey, the red one. Maybe. Was that it? I don't remember. But anyways, they're like, they're going to love you, Brian. Wear this jersey. Give your talk. Man, you're going to rock it. Yeah, I was set up because that was the opponent jersey that everyone hated in Montreal. And yeah, they really let me have it on that one. God. I fell for that one, hook, line, and sinker. Man. Oh well, what are you gonna do? It was all fun. They were pretty good about it. Oh dang, this mic is all up in my grill. Okay, well I have a work meeting I need to hop into. I need to revamp my background and my live chat and all that stuff. Because this design was meant for Twitch, but I think YouTube is going to be a little different. Like my live chat, YouTube already plays the live chat like right next to the video on rewatch. So I used to have this live chat right here because when I would download the video from Twitch and upload it as an archive on YouTube, people would know who I'm talking to, right? But now I'm on YouTube, the chat is like right there, so I can get rid of this. So now I got to come up with something else. I don't know. Any ideas? Any ideas? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know. If it was Montreal, it was probably a Bruins jersey. It might have been Bruins. It was a long time ago. I can't remember. The only part I really remember was they were really giving me a hard time. So, all right, everyone. Hey, I got a meeting to hop into. Thank you so much for joining me today on my first YouTube stream coming over from Twitch. I know you can spend your time doing anything else, and you chose to spend it with me. And I appreciate you all. I love you all. And I cannot wait to see you next time on my new YouTube stream. Woohoo! All right, everyone. Have a good one.